certain type of motivation. Not to say I hope I
Welcome to another episode of I Am the Change podcast, brought to you by Dreams to Reality Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward inspiring, uplifting, and empowering communities all over the world. I'm your host, Mychal Davis, alongside Mr. Jason Redmond.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Hey, man, look, I'm so excited, man. Every time we get to have a new guest on. So, I'm so thankful this young lady cleared her schedule to come talk to us tonight, man. A friend of mine introduced me to this young lady, and I'm going to tell you. So when somebody calls me, like I do insurance also. So when somebody calls me about insurance, I'm always like, man, go ahead on. I don't want to hear it. And then usually you give them that no, and they'll go away and leave you alone, man. But this young lady kept calling me. She kept calling me. When I say persistent, capital P persistent. And so I was like, man, look, I got to get you on my podcast to talk to you about what it is that you do, because you are so full of life. You are so engaging. You don't take no for an answer. Like, you are the type of person that's going to be so successful in the insurance industry. And so I was like, hey, look, can you please come on our show and talk to us? And she was like, yes. And so we have her on right now.
So we got her on the show.
I'm excited. I can't even do her justice giving her bios. I'm going to look, Ms. Williams, go ahead and tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead and give us the 411.
Absolutely. And before I do that, I definitely want to say thank you, Mychal and Jason, for allowing me to be on you guys' platform, Dreams to Reality. I'm super excited about sharing information with you guys today and just sitting here chatting with you today. So just to kind of get into a little bit about me, okay? Once again, my name is Kimberly Williams. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, all right? Trust me, you're not missing anything here. But just to give you a little bit more background, I received my degree in architecture engineering from the University of Southern Mississippi. Okay. And after graduating, I basically transitioned into the corporate world, right? Working in the construction industry as a project manager for over 16 years. And while doing so, I was building multi-million-dollar projects. Okay. However, just over the years working in corporate America, I really became really pretty unsatisfied, right? Okay. I decided to open my own tax preparing business, and that's literally how I actually got started into insurance, because not only did I wanted to provide service for the community and teach others about understanding taxes and things like that. Literally, I just expand upon not only that, but essentially I got into financial service industry. So because of that, Jason and Mychal, just right away, right? I just saw a need and an impact in the financial education. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I knew that there was a lack of financial literacy, not just in our community, but in our entire country. And because of that, we were at an all-time high when it came to financial literacy. So basically, I just saw a very large hole in our financial education system. And I just knew that this was something that our community needed. And then from there, not just helping people with taxes, but I just got introduced to the firm, which we're going to talk a little bit more about, this evening and whatnot. And just literally from there, guys, it was just a no-brainer, right? My main goal is to be able to educate everyone how to protect their family, right? How to protect their income, finances from the market, protect their health, and also have an opportunity to make an additional income by having a platform that will actually support their vision in life. So basically, with future generations to come, families can live off a legacy rather than liability. So that's just a little bit more about me, how I got started, and actually how I got into this industry.
Wow. So one question I do want to ask, I know because for me, I was when I was coming up, I remember writing a check, and I learned how to write checks because I watched my mom write a check. So it's I learned I watched her pay bills. I learned about money through what she did. So how did you learn about money just coming up?
Oh, that's really funny. So one, when I learned that I didn't have enough money to do the things I wanted to do, right? Okay. Two, when I asked a family member, they didn't even have any money to give or loan. Wow. So basically, it all boils down to when I knew I worked that job in corporate America, I had a salary of $80,000, Jason. But guess what? At the end of the year, I only received $55,000. that's when I started to wanting to realize more about how does money work, right? How is this recycling? Why I don't have enough? Why are some people still working the same 40 hours a week
Right.
for 40 years,
Mm.
right? But at the end of
Yes.
the day, they live on a different level than what most of us live on in our communities. So from
Correct.
there, I just started to, talk to my dad. He taught me a lot more about money. I started research some things on investments and understanding how the dollar actually works. Even though because of inflation, we literally lose the value of a dollar, and that's a whole nother story. But just to make it really, really short, when I realized that we have the opportunity to attract money as well, right? And just understanding how that works can take us to a whole nother level. Because guess what? We pretty much run on needing money, right?
Right.
The dollar, the value. So yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. So you're talking about breaking generational curses and teaching. Tell me a little bit about the protection you're teaching in order to protect finances and create, that financial foundation.
Absolutely. So basically, I'm not going to get too much into the information that we do educate everyone on, but when it comes to protecting individuals' money, right? A lot of people do not know or understand how the 401k works. Okay. Basically, what we do, we have over 77 product providers that we educate families on, and based on that education, they have the ability to make an impact, right, and make a sound decision on what's best for them. So when it comes to help people protect their money, we protect their money from what we call the stock market, right? A lot of people have 401k, 403b, TSP, which is a government account, teachers' accounts, our IRAs, right? Well, guess what? When they retire, half of that money, if not 50%, we don't know what tax is going to be then, they're going to lose half of that. So we help individuals protect their money by protecting and rolling it over to what we call a fixed index annuity. A lot of people have not heard about that, right? That may be something we'll talk about a little bit later. But guess what? When we do that, now we're protecting money from the market. Now their money becomes tax-free. And now a lot of people haven't heard of compound interest. You either earn it or you pay it.
Absolutely.
So
I'd rather earn it.
Right. There you go. We teach people how to earn it, right?
Right.
And then from there, now when they actually retire, not only just tax-free, we actually help them not outlive their retirement. You may walk into Walmart or Target, you see a lot of people, older people in their work. It's not because they, have to really want to be there, but it's because they have to be there because no one taught them proper how to retire. No one taught them the proper way, Mychal, how to actually protect their money from the market. And just the simple fact, knowing that there's tax codes out there that will allow them to do that. But the key is the lack of communication, the lack of financial literacy, right? And of course, education system don't teach it. That's why we're here, right, Jason, to educate you about these tools and concepts that we all have access to, like literally for years. So
absolutely.
So you talked about a fixed index annuity. Now, I'm gonna be biased. I do insurance, so I know what it is. So tell me why you got into the insurance field and educating people on annuities instead of getting a securities license and selling like mutual funds or stocks, bonds, so forth.
Well, the good thing about the company that I work with, Jason, we actually have the opportunity to help individuals with fixed index annuities without actually needing a securities license, right? Okay. So it's not the point that, I choose not to get it. At some point, eventually I will get it. And even though we also help people with mutual funds as well, it's just many options that they allow us to have. Gotcha. So hopefully that answers your question when it comes to that. And I think you might have asked me something else, but I'll just turn it back over to you right now.
So you started. So what? Like I know what made me start selling insurance. What made you get into insurance?
Like I mentioned before, just seeing that when I would start helping people in the tax industry, and I want to give out to my business partner, Ms. Trina Wolf, right? Okay. We actually business partners when it comes to taxes, but when I realized people was asking about finances, about fixing their portfolio, about savings, about credit, about understanding money, right? And basically how to make their money work for them, They wanted to put their money into what we call investments, right? Into vehicles where the money continue to grow instead of putting their money into what we call a bank, right? There are 3 rules of money that we actually educate our clients on. And one, like I talked about before, is compound interest, understanding how that works, right?
Okay.
And 72. Number 2 is understanding how your money grows. It could be fixed, variable, index. Index is a huge word. Once again, that's things we sit down and educate individuals on. And the last thing is how to take tax advantages. So because of the people that came to me, it kind of opened my eyes up more to read those 15 different tax retirement books out there, right? Of course, they say knowledge is power, but it's not power until you actually
if you open that book up,
right?
Yeah,
You have
absolutely.
And so because of that, that made me really get out there and want to help everyone I can, right? My mission is already to just be a resourceful individual with the purpose and goals that I have to help individuals already. And because of that, I know that this can really change our community. If we can come together, right? Understand how we can actually, just build business. Don't try to work for a job for the rest of your life, but we all have dreams and talents. You guys have dreams and talents, right? And so when we put that to work, it's no telling what we can do when we come together. It's no telling, what we can save, what we can build, what we can, once again, break generational curses and leave legacy behind for our families. And that really touched me, even coming from a household of 7 daughters. My parents had 8 girls.
Wow.
They didn't have any boys, right? So you can imagine how much we had to save and, different things that we wanted to do. But because of that, we also to have our finances in order. We didn't have a financial advisor. Our financial portfolio was not in order. And so that just really empowered me to kind of get out there and use my mission to make sure that I educate people as well when it comes to this industry. And it just went from my head to my heart, right? We have a huge crusade of just wanting to help people. And so from there, I never looked back. I was just like, this is it. We need this right now more than ever, really.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's huge. Go ahead, Mychal.
Absolutely, because I'm in a space where I'm learning about financial literacy as well. Compound interest is definitely something I'm learning about because it's so important. Once I realized what it was and was educated on it, it blew my mind. But when you talk about teaching about investments, I know you can't give away too much sauce, but talk about some of the investments that you're steering clients to. Because I've been getting into things like cryptocurrencies as different ways to have a saving account, gain different interests and stuff like that. So I'm educated on some investments, but I just want to kind of know what type of investments you're gearing your clients towards.
Okay, so I heard you say something about savings account or bank account. Do you know what the interest rate is on that account?
Like 0.08 or something. It's super low. It's nothing, and that's yearly. You know what I'm saying?
Super low. So most people today are saving their money into what we call a bank or a savings account, but their money is not growing at all, right? So it's only quite a few ways that you really can invest your money. But the smart thing about it is you want to be able to access and be an owner, right, of your own funds. I don't know if you've ever heard of infinite banking system. That's something I can talk about as well. But we really, we just really tell our clients a lot more about that, because instead of you putting your money into the bank, Mychal, into the savings account, you can actually create your own infinite banking system.
Infinite banking system. I want you to elaborate on that because I'm not familiar with that. And I would like to learn a little bit about that.
Right. So basically, when you want to take out a loan, right, you don't have to worry about taking out a loan from your bank account and get a higher interest rate. You can take it out from yourself. You can either pay it back if you want, or you don't have to. Once again, these things that we sit down and educate our clients about, but it's so important because now you have your own bank, such as the Rockefellers, which you heard of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so good deal. So you do understand they created the infinite banking system. They're still making billions of dollars today. And anything that they want or need, they go to their own private bank rather than someone else's bank. So we help people put their money into your own bank where you're getting compound interest on your money. You're having a higher interest rate and it's tax-free, right? So that's just one of the ways. There's a lot of tools that actually come with that. especially when we talk about, understanding life insurance. A lot of people kind of get really scared and they run away from it. They think it's so expensive, or I'm not going to ever look at it or use the money, or why we have to pay it. But guess what? It's a difference between life insurance and death insurance, right? Of course, death insurance, when someone passes away and you need to use that right away, which most of them don't pay out in 24 to 40 hours, which we have products that actually does. But people need to understand that life insurance means you can access that money while you're alive. Literally. So when you hear about some of these companies like Walt Disney World, when you heard about McDonald's, J.C. Penney, Stanford University, all these companies, which many more companies actually started their business off life insurance. This is the benefit, Mychal, of understanding how your infinite banking system can work. If you want to go open up a business, if you want to have your own franchise, you can use the money that you're putting away that's compounding, right? Use OPM, which is other people's money that's in the market, to actually fund the things, that whatever vision or platform that you want to have out there, right? To actually have money that you can use. So that's just one of the ways. Another way, like I talked about earlier, is index, but we call it Index Universal Life. This is the #1 cash accumulation tool that has been around since 1913, right? Believe it or not, the 401k came out in 1978. It replaced the pensions. But a little people didn't know that it's the same thing. But guess what? The wealthy has been using the IULs, Index Universal Life. So what I mean by that is that tax code I told you about, 772028, that protect your money from the market, where you can grow your money tax-free, you can pull it out tax-free, and you can pass it on tax-free. You can't do that with the 401k, period. So the #1 investment, you want to make sure you're indexing your money. Your money is compounding over time, which is an IUL, right? It's just like you take iPhone number 3 and now you got iPhone number 13. It's an upgrade from what used to be other insurances out there. But once again, it's so many tools that you can access to actually use the money, the funding that's in that for you and your family. And now that's how you leave a legacy behind rather than a liability. So hopefully to help answer your question again, I wouldn't mind sitting down with you, educating you a little bit further on some of these tools, but or sending you some books. I definitely love to do that as well. But it's a beautiful thing once you really understand it, and how now you can start attracting money. Now you can understand how money works, right? Even though it's a tool that we use, okay, but there's an end goal in mind, and that's making sure that you're breaking those generational curses. That you never have to worry about, your son or daughter, what college they want to go to, what car they want to drive, if you want to travel. All these things are so important, even right now. Even right now.
Absolutely. That's major. Hey. I mean, that's major. We definitely gonna have to talk. I'm gonna need the books. I'm gonna need everything. Because I'm not familiar with a lot of the stuff you're saying. And I feel like these tools you have are putting people in a position to, live their dreams, because they don't have to worry about the finances. You know what I'm saying? This is taking care of the finances. This is helping them accrue more finances. I mean, this is amazing. What you're doing. What is the name of the company you work for?
The name of the company that I work with, I want to make sure you catch that.
I apologize. Yeah, you said that too. Let's make that clear. You work with.
You're fine. It's called World Financial Group. They're actually headquarters in Jones Creek, Georgia. However, with me working with Prolific Solutions, which is my agency under the umbrella of World Financial Group, I have the opportunity to actually grow an agency in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, Hawaii, anywhere, right? Of course, right now we're working from home, regardless of what economy was going to do or COVID was going to happen. I love the fact that I'm still able to work from anywhere, right? And so that's the company I work with. Once again, we're a non-captive agency, which I'm super excited about that, because now I don't work with one specific company. I work with many companies that allow my clients to make a decision whether they want Merrill Lynch, whether they want Morgan Stanley, whether they want Transamerica, all these different product providers you heard out there before. We find which company best fits their needs, best fits their budget. And from there, we want to make sure that we give them the best product that's going to help them reach their goal. So that's the company that I work with. And we've been around for many years. Have a very rough name. And, I can tell you that history as well, but yeah.
So, hey, look, I told you, persistent, knowledgeable, out here, man.
Very knowledgeable.
Dog, I'm telling you, with the one thing that she didn't do, that she didn't offer me no books, man. She
offered me the books.
She offered
special.
you.
She
She ain't
offered
offered
you
no
books.
book or nothing, man. Nothing. I ain't getting no book off anything, man. So yeah, so I'm a little jealous, but it's okay. It's
I'm
okay.
gonna give you the books too.
Hey, yeah, okay. All right.
So you said you wouldn't mind going into a little bit of history about your company, if you don't mind doing that.
Yeah, but I was just saying, hint. When we sit down, I give you a little more history about it.
Oh yeah. All right, then we can, boom. I got you.
Yeah, just know that we're a
Gotcha.
non-captive agency, and we have AAA rated products that's not going anywhere. I mean, when I get ready to retire my agency code, right, the business, I can pass it on to my children. $1 million business that they can take over, and they can continue to do that and continue to do that. So that's what I love about not just working for one company that have maybe 2 or 3 products that they actually offer. We have multiple products, so. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Kimberly. I'm gonna put you on the spot here right quick.
Okay.
So let's role play right quick. Let's just say I'm a young budding entrepreneur. I've got $50 I can put aside. Do you have a product for something like for the needs that like to help me grow my portfolio? And let's say I'm young. Let's say I'm 25 years old.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm definitely glad you said young. Because Jason, believe it or not, a lot of people need to make sure they access, proper coverage, right? Start investing now when they are young and healthy, because we know, being in the insurance industry, that they look at many different risks that, as that most of us have. And sometimes you may not qualify. Like, you literally have to qualify for these different tools that we offer. But someone like you that's 25 and you only have $50, first question is, do you have life insurance?
Gotcha. Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
That's a yes or no. If not, I want to make sure I cover you with life insurance, with coverage first, because if something was going to happen, whether you're alive or something, critical happen, you can access that money right now to pay your monthly expenses and your medical expenses. Your job may only pay 3 to 6 months. If you're still not better, how are you going to pay your bills? Right? Where are you going to get the money from? So that's the first question I would ask. If this is someone that have enough coverage, whether it's private, which I prefer people have private insurance, because you never know if you lose your job, or you could be working yesterday. I'm sorry, something popped up on my computer. You could be working today, but you might not be working tomorrow. Now you no longer have insurance, right? Unless you pay more money for it now. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, of course, if you're someone that want to look at compounding and growing your money, I will show you some illustrations that work for you based on your budget. And then from there, I can literally show you from year 1 to year 5 to year 10, up until 65, when you want to retire, how much money you're actually going to have in your account. Again, numbers don't lie, but I can really structure it for you the best way. You can start off with this amount. In the next 5 years, let's look at putting back more. The next 10 years, let's look at putting back more. And that's how we can set it up for you. So yeah, that was a really, really good question, because I have a lot of people that's really young, and they're missing out. They're entrepreneurs. They don't really want to work a job. They're computer savvy, technical. A lot of people understanding now that America run off business, right? And you have to have that. Like, if COVID didn't wake anybody up last year, I don't know what to tell them. If they don't have an additional stream of income, I don't know what to tell them, right? The time is now. And for any young person, I would definitely tell them to capitalize and get your financial portfolio in order. Get some coverage, start investing. I don't care where you start, just start somewhere. So
start.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's super. Yeah, I feel like that's super important, especially for millennials coming up. And I think I read something on your Instagram I was looking at where you said one of your missions was to help millennials create that financial freedom and reach their dreams, because it's so important. I will put that, if the meeting does cut off, we'll use the same link, just to throw that out there. All right. But just to keep this going. All right, so Jason said 25 years old, you start investment, you know what I'm saying? So kind of map out, I know you can't give much sauce, but that growth, what are we looking at? What is the average millennial you talk to that wants your services? What's the average amount of money they start off with? And what type of growth are they looking at over a year?
Okay, So let's just say, like you mentioned, 25-year-old, right?
Mhm.
They want to put away $250 a month, right? This could be for an IUL, which again is the Index Universal Life. And literally, because of that, not only do they start off putting away for their retirement investment account, but they also have what we call a death benefit account as well, right? And that's the part I was telling you. That's like a loan that you actually can take out, but also if something was to happen, you access that insurance as well. So on top of that, this is something that increases over time. So if you have a 25-year-old that's putting away $250, we know that their death benefit will be around $250,000. That's money they can use and access. Okay.
Wow.
Now they don't have to touch their retirement money. That's a whole nother column. But if they need anything such as emergency, they can pull it from their death column. But once they start off with $250,000, let's just say their retirement policy is probably starting off at maybe $1,250, right? And then as years go by, that compounds and grow. They're still contributing to this account. But at the end of the day, when they hit that 10th year, they can have up to probably maybe, let's just say $80,000 to $100,000 in their account. And again, remember, it's tax-free. They don't have to touch it. It just continues to compound over time. But they have that death benefit column where they can take out a loan, emergency money. They can put it back if they choose. If they don't want to, they don't have to. Why? Because these accounts continue to grow and compound over time. Now, I'm gonna give you a little nugget, right? It's just a little nugget.
I didn't get a nugget, Mychal. Remember, I didn't get these nuggets. She's growing on us, man. She's growing on us.
Yeah. So these accounts grow, right? It actually mirrors the market. Okay. You're not affected by the market in these accounts, but there are 3 indices that you probably heard of, right? Such as Hang Seng, Euro, and S&P 500, right?
Okay.
And so based on the minimum of these accounts and how they, do maybe every month, every year or whatnot, that's how your account continues to grow. So your death benefit is increasing over time while you're still contributing and still getting that higher interest rate. And guess what? It just continues to grow. Even if you put that loan money back in there, it still continues to grow and grow and grow. And again, this is how you don't outlive your retirement. Today, people are retiring with $500,000. They live for another 15, 20 years. And guess what? They run out of money.
They broke.
They have to go back to work. Absolutely. Yeah. Like a lot of people are doing right now. They lost their job in COVID, right? Yeah. And they're saying right now the average household needs at least $1.5 million to properly retire. I'm talking about husband, wife, and kids, right? Wow. So a lot of people don't know that, but the times that we're living in is changing. And before we leave, I do want to tell you guys a short story, and I do want to leave a challenge. But just know that for any young millennial right now, it's best for them to start now. Like, figure it out. I don't care if you make it $25 a day or $25 a week, right? You want to make sure that you're taking your money instead of putting your money into other things that's not of value, right? We can buy clothes, shoes, $200 on some Jordans, or a gaming system or something out there. No, put it back into your account, let it grow, and then little by little you can use that money, access that money. Then take that money and go and invest it into something, and let that money make money, right? And like I tell some people today, you need passive income. There's plenty of ways to get passive income today. Like,
absolutely,
guys.
Absolutely.
What you guys are doing coming together is just amazing, right? Because you're literally taking people's dreams to reality. There's a difference between having a goal and having a vision.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a difference between, making sure that everybody have some type of talent. They may use it, they may not. You probably heard the saying, a lot of people talents when you walk to a graveyard. You won't believe how many gifts and dreams and talents that people wish they would have started, wish they would have done, or people like you guys to actually help them pursue that, right? Okay. And so it's just amazing. But yeah, right now millennials is one of my main targets that I'm helping individuals, or even with their kids, right? Juvenile policies. Again, I came from a family of 8 girls. I'm like the middle child, and luckily I got a scholarship for college in track and field. But guess what? People get in more debt because of student loans. But we have college plans out there. We have juvenile plans out there. That's a vehicle which allow us to educate parents how to have a vehicle income source for their children right now while they're first time they're born, 10, 15, up until they're 18. It doesn't matter if you're just putting away $50 a month. It's going to compound and grow over time. Now, by the time this child get ready to go off to college, they can have close to, if not, depending on how we properly structure it for them, close to $500,000 in their account. Okay, literally, they can have income whether they want to go to college or not, versus the typical 459 plans out there. And I'm getting a little bit too much into things to educate people on, but just know that this money is out there that you can help your kids, you can help your family, no matter how much you're putting away. Right, we're going to properly structure it for you, but don't miss out just starting. Right, taking information. So,
wow,
yeah,
wow.
I think that's super important, because I was just going to ask, what do you say to the family that doesn't have much to put aside, that's suffering through this COVID? You know what I'm saying? But that small amount of $50 a month that it can accrue to so much over time. I mean, I think that's major information that needs to be spread to people in communities, because like, I know for a fact, like, I mean, when I used to do marble and granite countertops, I used to talk to people on the job, and it like, most people don't see any way up. They don't see any way out. They're 9 to 5. They don't see any, like, they're like, all right, that the rich, they get rich because they got connections or something like that. But we're not understanding how the rich have used their money to position themselves, you know what I'm saying, to break those generational curses. And I mean, I just think what you're doing is super important. I mean, that's major. And to be bringing these tools to millennials and changing the game, like, that's making a better future. That's bringing dreams to reality. So, you know what I'm saying? We're on a very similar mission. It's amazing.
Right. And definitely remember too, Mychal, believe it or not, we have over 78 million baby boomers getting ready to retire.
Yes.
Literally. They need their money protected. A lot of people calling right now today trying to get more coverage, right? The more coverage you have, the more extra money you have, you can use whatever you need it for, right? And not only that, they don't want to lose half of their money to the government. So they're trying to protect their money right now before they hit that RMD, when, you know, you can go up until you're about 7 years of age, but guess what? They're going to make you start taking it out.
So you said RMD. Tell them what RMD stands for.
Well, it's required minimum distribution. So right now, a lot of people, you know, get their money, you know, take it out when it's 59 and a half. Of course, they still pay federal, state, you know, still pay fees, right? But some people say, oh, they're not going to tax me. I'm just going to keep it till I'm about 7 years of age. But guess what?
The government gonna make you take it.
They're gonna make more, and then you're gonna have an RMD. It's required to take it out, and then they're gonna put a percentage on that money as well. So it's just like being double taxed, right?
Gotcha.
Who wants that? So I love to ask my clients questions, right? Questions are so important. You guys probably heard, you know, facts tell, but stories sell. But you will just be amazed how many people we talk to on a daily basis that is so thankful about the information we share. Like I said, the crusade is so real. It's really bigger than this. Honestly, guys, we are in a leadership business. All three of us, we are in the people business. And it's our goal, it's our time right now to get out there and educate everyone about what's going on. It's not, you know, an I in team, right? But together, everyone achieves more. And that's what I love about our company. That's what I love about just helping and develop people. I'm literally in the people business where I develop leaders, right? I want to make sure that they can go out there and help their families and educate other peoples at the same time. So, it's just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
man,
that is amazing.
I told you she was phenomenal, man. She was out here doing big things. She's changing the game.
I love the fact that we don't panic, but we pivot, right? We don't
really
get out anymore and meet people face to face and have our different conferences or meetings and things like that. But using this platform is just a blessing. What you guys doing is such a blessing. So I'm very thankful for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just glad you took time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us, because I mean, again, when I hear people talk about their passion and being in insurance, it's to me, it's beneficial. I get to hear somebody else's passion. And the biggest thing is, like, you have your target market. You know exactly who you're selling to. You know exactly what they need. You know the ins and outs of that groups. And you're talking about building. You're talking about going on their financial, their financial foundation when they're at their lowest, because they're only going to get to where they excel. And you're going to help them plan for their retirement when they're not even thinking about retiring. And it sounds like some of your products have living benefits. You're talking about retirement. You're talking about disability. You're talking about life insurance in the back that something happens, they pass, they get disabled, they have a terminal illness, they retire. Amazing. That product sounds amazing.
Also, the fact that using it, leveraging it to be able to start your own business and stuff like that, creating the infinite banking system. I mean, it's some valuable information that I think everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know.
Yep.
Yes.
A lot of companies started their business off insurance, believe it or not. It's just not for when someone passes away. Like, you guys will just be blown away once you see the information. And another thing I want to just, like I say, I asked a lot of questions, right? And let me ask you guys a question. What is one thing that cannot be taxed in America?
Time.
Okay, Jason, I'll let you ask, give a response. Mychal.
It's a good question. I don't know.
One thing that cannot be taxed.
Hmm.
You guys want me to tell you?
Yeah. I want to know.
Insurance. Insurance.
We talk about it the whole time.
They don't tax insurance. Right.
Wow.
We tax on everything else, but they can't tax insurance. That's why I say your money is protected under an umbrella called 7702A. Right? These tax codes that for many years, a lot of people didn't realize, but they put their money in the wrong vehicle. Put your money in the right vehicle where it's protected, and you know they're about paying taxes.
So taking that money out at any with the insurance, it's not taxed at all. It can't be taxed.
Nope.
Wow, I did not know that.
Not one time. Nope. Your money is not taxed. So
that's another little nugget you just dropped on us, honestly.
Hey, man. She coming in here dropping nuggets, man. Hey, man, we're going to start calling her Johnny Appleseed, man. She up here dropping these nuggets on us, man. Boy.
Right. But I do want to leave you guys a quick story, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
More questions, as we're getting ready to kind of wrap up. But did you guys have any more questions for me?
No, I want to hear the story.
Are you sure?
I'm
absolutely.
I want to hear the story. Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, I got to hear it.
So I got to kind of breathe a little bit, okay? It may be a little intense, but I really do want the audience to hear the story, okay? Especially with you guys having this platform and sharing your podcast. But I just want to tell this story. So there's a lady named Jennifer that lives somewhere in the suburbs of America. And Jennifer is a mother of 2 kids. She graduated from high school many, many years ago. And on this fretful day, Jason and Mychal, Jennifer ran into one of her best friends from high school. Now, they had a very, very aggressive, intense conversation. Of course, they were trying to catch up from high school and everything. And as they were engaged in a conversation, it was something else that was really happening at the time that they did not realize. And because of that, that little child, which was Jennifer's daughter, kept calling her and getting her attention saying, mommy, mommy, right? Jennifer paid no attention to her, thinking that their little child was just nagging. Well, guess what? She kept saying, mommy, mommy. She was engaged with her friend from high school. And literally for the next 30 minutes, Jennifer still paid no attention to her child, saying, mommy, mommy. And about 30 minutes of the conversation, she finally paid attention to her little child, the 4-year-old daughter. And then she asked her daughter, where is your sister? The mother kept asking the little girl. Then she pointed to the river.
Oh, wow.
The little girl said she fell in the river.
Wow. At
that moment, the mother realized that this child has been trying to get her attention all along, right? So the 2 of them, Jennifer and her friend, rushed to the scene. But the time they got there, it was too late. The child had already drowned. They couldn't save her anymore. The little child did everything that she could to her utmost power to get her mother's attention about her little sister. But the mother was too busy having a conversation. So I basically say all of this because if you're listening to this right now, each time someone in the financial industry try to make an appointment with you, right? Just to educate you, even you guys. Every time someone is trying to reach out to you, guess what most people do? They don't pay attention because they have their own excuses. They have their own mindsets. They have their own ways. So they say they're busy. Then they say, let's book a call. But guess what? They still don't pay attention. They thinking I'm doing you a favor, but no, you're not doing me a favor. I want to help you, right?
Right.
Now you have the choice and option if you wanted to be helped or not, but that's totally up to you. But I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to get it across. Or maybe you know someone else that need our help, right? So most people today, if they're invited to a party to go out or whatnot, guess what the first thing they're doing? They're going to make time for that, right? So basically, we say there's something happening in America right now, which we know that there is, way bigger than what the TV is trying to distract us from, right? And that's our financial portfolio, that's our finances. That's, having a mindset of knowing that I have to do something different. I have to change. So basically, we want to share this information with these individuals, but they still don't listen. They don't pay attention to us. They're like that little child. They're like that mom when their little child came to her and said, "Mommy, pay up. My sister's drowning," right? But here's the news for you. Here's the news for everyone that's listening. If you wait until you have breast cancer, if you wait until you have congestive failure, until you wait till something bad really happens, it's too late that you and I, Jason, will have had the opportunity to get this information in front of individuals, right? If you wait until something happens, it's just too late. The time is now to get the information that I want to share with you and everyone else. So basically, I just tell people, because of this story, which is a true story, don't wait until something happens. Don't wait until the stock market crashes and you lose all your money in the 401k. The information needs to be shared now with everyone. You can't lose. You're going to get many, many no's. I understand that, right? Until you get a lot of yeses, but as long as we got the point across, as long as we're able to share the value. So now, most people look back when they get to age 65 and they regret not paying attention or going on an appointment for free. Everything we do is for free. We don't charge a dime, right?
Right.
And so basically, I want to just let everybody know that the waiting game is definitely a losing game. Tomorrow is too late, right? Tomorrow can be too far. And also tomorrow may never come for some people.
Excellent.
So like I tell people that today, let's get it done today, right? Let's make sure that we're helping everyone that we can that hear the sound of our voice today. And the challenge that I do want to leave for everyone, just knowing that, I want to offer everyone a world-class financial education. I challenge them to give me a call. I challenge them to book an appointment with me, right? And to just hear this free information and also to share with other people. So I just want to leave you with that story because it really hit home for me. Guys, you won't believe how many different stories I hear every single day from individuals, even in my own family. Just last month, I had a distant cousin that passed away. People are committing suicide today because their mothers or parents are not paying attention, how they're home and depressed, how things are changed, and they don't know why. Right? But guess what? My own cousin didn't have life insurance. My family texting everybody to go do a GoFundMe. If you're not doing a GoFundMe, guess what they're doing? A fish fry. If you Google right now on GoFundMe, how many burial funeral services, GoFundMes there are, or any type of death, it's going to be millions of people that actually created these platforms. But why?
It's unfortunate, yeah.
So this is when I say it really just touches me, but because of that, it makes me want to work harder, like faster, and I have to get it done now. And so I just want to leave that story. I want to leave that challenge. Once again, I am so grateful. I am so thankful with connecting with you guys. If there's anything that you need, I am here again. Our services are free. We don't charge a dime. All we ask is for you to share the information because we want to help you and your family. So
go ahead and drop your contact information real quick for the viewers, if you don't mind, so people can get in contact with you because that's major. That story hit home, and you know what I'm saying. I think people need to open their eyes and realize, you know what I'm saying, Like,
Yep.
forget a GoFundMe. Let's invest in this now, so we don't need a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to pull money from everybody in the family and try to figure this thing out later. So
Exactly.
yeah, if you don't mind, drop your information, please.
I sure will. So I can be reached from my business contact phone. That's 228 area code 243-3888. That's 228 area code 243-3888. You can contact me via email. That's KimberlyWilliams.wfg@gmail.com. That's KimberlyWilliams.wfg@gmail.com. I am also on social media. I am Kimberly V as in Victor Williams. Okay. And again, they have a way of contacting you guys on Dreams Reality. And so you guys do have my contact information, but I'm only a phone call away, and definitely looking forward to helping our community. So.
Hey, look, hey, I knew she was persistent. I knew she was talented. I knew she was about her business. Mind blowing. Hey, I am so excited to have had you on. Like, you really brought the energy and the passion. Like, I mean, sometimes insurance can be a morbid topic, but you brought information like, hey, the living aspect of life insurance, man. I'm speechless, man. I ain't got no more words. But I do want to say thank you again for coming on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I mean, you opened my eyes to a lot, gave me a lot of information and education I didn't know about. So I definitely look forward to contacting you in the future. I love what you're doing. You are truly an agent of change in this world, which we need so much. So keep doing what you're doing. Definitely keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing. And Jason, do you have anything else you want to say before we take this out?
No, actually, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for viewing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, the cherry on top, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button in the link below, and follow us. Tell your friends. And if you need some life insurance, you need somebody to talk to about your finances, Kimberly Williams is here. She's waiting to talk to you. She's not going nowhere. She's gonna run you down. She's not gonna stop calling you. She is going to be on it. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Please reach out to her because she has some services you need.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for joining us again on a wonderful episode of I Am the Change podcast with my host, Jason Redmond, our very special guest, Ms. Kimberly Williams, who has been just an absolute delight to talk to and just educating us on everything she's doing. Just amazing work. But again, join us next week, same time, same place for another episode. And remember, the goal is not to be better than anybody, but together we can achieve better for everybody. Thank you and have a good night.